Hi,
All right.
we're on the
Because
air.
okay, yeah, we are. Oh
I
Lord,
just
this is
have
gonna
to
get interesting,
do final preparations.
right? Well, at least with my finagling for with the internets, I'm sure you got a lot of news already taken care of and all that, right?
Oops, that was the wrong thing. Now we're plugged together. What did you say?
The news you got your news all taken care of while I was fighting with my internets, right?
Oh, the gathering, yes.
Yes. How much news do we have this week?
I'd call it a fair amount. So let me bring this up and let's see here thing and some stuff. And we're only starting like a half an hour later than we thought we were going to, but that's okay. Okay. Are you good to record? Oh crap, hang on. Sorry, give me one more second. I'm gonna push this button. Josh. Oh, Josh is frozen. This is
Uh-oh.
there words, noises. Joshua. Josh. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
gonna.
oh, there you are. Oh, okay.
Okay. Am I back?
This
Am
is
I?
gonna be
This is gonna get
fun.
interesting. Oh yeah, yes. Let me close my my bedroom door real quick so you don't hear that.
I don't hear anything, but okay.
I'll be right back.
That's not gonna that's not gonna get in the way of the awful Wi-Fi. Oh goodness.
All right, Adam. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay.
What? Why did you say? What? Uh, 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 Josh, uh,
Uh,
can I? Can I? Oh, we've lost Joshua. So this is going to be an interesting evening, folks. I have no guarantee that there'll be an episode this week, but we'll see what happens if Josh ever comes back. I'm gonna send him a text message. Is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna say. So I gotta put this down for a second. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be fun viewing because you're gonna watch me send a text message, but I need both hands to do it. So hang on. There we go. All right. So yeah, Andy's not here, as you may have noticed. So Josh is filling in, or Josh is at least attempting to fill in. But Josh has horrible internet at his house now that he's back home in, let's say, Illinois, because I think that's where he is. And so the problem is, oh, he's trying to come back. That's good. The problem seems to be that Josh's internet at his house is fucking terrible. And so we may have a very interesting episode this week. Depending on how consistent Josh's internet connection is. So, there's my wife, and there's a kitty cat. Ja, jag såg the kitty. Oh, this kitty right there. Little fluffy kitty. So, we wait for Josh to come back. And I don't know how long it's going to take. So How are you guys? How you doing? You doing good? You doing good? It's great to see you. Great, nice of you to join us on the YouTubes. 'Cause there's nobody on the hangout right now. It's just me talking to myself, making the most of it, making making your way in the world today. It takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries, it sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Okay. Josh is close. We'll see what happens. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you can. Hey, I'm not good at talking to myself when there's other people watching. So, yeah. This is fascinating television. And it's not even television. This is fascinating YouTube video of what's happening right now. I'm not sure why I'm whispering, but it seems appropriate to the situation for me to be sitting here by myself, talking to no one, and just whispering very loudly. It's kind of a stage whisper, if you think about it. But then again, I've also got the gain on my microphone up very loud, so even the quietest whisper sounds kind of is legible to the human ear. Hey, you can understand what I'm saying perfectly. So it was Memorial Day this week, and we went to the zoo. And I took a lot of pictures at the zoo, but I haven't put them on Facebook yet. And I got a sunburn on the top of my head, just right up here. So it's better now, but it was a little sore yesterday. But I think it's all right now. So I saw some zebras and some giraffes and some wildebeest. There was an ostrich. There's some lemurs. There was Andy's home from work. I wonder if oh goodness, you're gonna watch me send another text message because that's fun. There was a tapir and a capybara, and there was an ocelot, but it was asleep in its cave and we couldn't see it. There was a pygmy hippo. It was adorable. Did I say ostrich? Because there was an ostrich. There was an endangered leopard species, like critically endangered. So that was cool. There was an overpriced restaurant in the zoo where they charged me far too much money for the food that I got. Yeah. No elephants at the zoo. There was no elephants at the zoo. There were tigers. There were a couple of tigers. There was an orange tiger. There was a white tiger. And there was a lion. And Josh is back.
I'm back. Oh dear God! I think I need in a specific position, holding my computer up at a specific angle.
Don't close your bedroom door,
Apparently.
because that cuts off your Wi-Fi signal. All right.
I haven't been here in a year, so this house.
Yeah.
All right,
We,
all right.
I talked about my trip to the zoo while you were gone. Made for very
Oh, how was?
entertaining programming, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. This is going to be great stuff for people to see.
And then Andy posted on Facebook that he's finally home from work, and so I sent him a text message that said, "You're home. We haven't started yet." All right.
Is he going to hop on?
Hey, there he is. There he is right there. What the hell are you talking about? I went to the zoo. That's what I'm talking about. You're gonna be home. You should have just told me and you could have hosted, and then we would have saved all this drama and Josh's computer wouldn't have exploded all of the sudden. But if you're here, that kind of ruins the joke I was going to make about you not being here, but that's all right. I'll
There,
make it anyway.
changed my tagline. How's that? How's that for you?
I think it says I hate my fucking Wi-Fi. I think that's what it says.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Extremely, I'm not here, and the show goes to shit already. It's not my fault. It's Josh's fault that the show has gone to shit. So
It's not my fault. It's my parents' home fault.
Passing the buck already. Are you ready to record
Oh, hell yeah.
the question now that it's 8:06 p.m. Eastern time? I'd call
Yes,
it rundown
yes,
after
I'm ready
dark,
to
but it's not fucking dark yet.
Yeah, I know.
Rundown, episode 153. Adjust my volume correctly. There we go. In 3, 2, 1, record. Well, this week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by Glenn Jacobs Employment Services. Do you have an employee who needs to not only be separated from their job, but also needs their spine separated from their pelvis? Call Glenn Jacobs Employment Services. A job opening is just a choke slam away. TNA is running a poll on their Facebook site asking fans if they prefer the 4-sided or a 6-sided ring. Would a return to a 6-sided ring really make a difference for TNA at this point?
No, but the novelty of it was kind of a draw. I like 6 sides.
It did add. I don't want to call it a novelty, but it did add a certain bit of originality to TNA that you hadn't seen before. Because nobody who was watching the TNA product, or certainly nobody who was watching the WWE product, really had a feeling for the Mexico lucha libre style and the 6-sided ring down there. So it certainly brought something different to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it would make a difference now,
oh hell no,
almost fully committed to being WWE light at this point, it would certainly set them apart, but I don't think it would do anything to bring them back from the brink.
that's definitely hard to say. I mean, TNA is pretty much where WWE talent goes to fade away, I guess. It's like TNA, we've got Jeff Hardy.
Willow.
Oh, Willow. I'm sorry.
So fucking retarded. Speaking of retarded, let's get to the rundown. Not sure I like the way you're groping your microphone. More binding than a WWE contract signed on television. It's episode 153 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host, and it is Wednesday, May the 28th, 2014. This week, you may have noticed that a certain regular co-host is not here this week. We sent him on assignment to go undercover and investigate the goings-on on the Exotic Express, and he has not reported back yet. So he's either extremely high or he's overdosed and is dead. So to the family of Andrew, I apologize. It's totally my fault. Instead, joining me this week, at long last, back home where he belongs, except now with a horrible internet connection. Josh is here.
And I'm holding on by my fingernails, bitches. Let's see how long this lasts.
Yes. Good news. For those of you who follow us on Twitter, you noticed that I was able to live tweet Raw live this week, and not on a 2-hour delay.
Oh my God! What happened there?
That is partly because it was a holiday, and I would have had the day off anyway. But I did start a new job today, which will allow me to get home at a reasonable time all 5 days of the week, and might actually facilitate the uploading of this podcast on Wednesday night again, instead of recording on Wednesday and posting on Thursday. So,
yeah, that's
awesome. We're gonna go back to live.
You're not the only one with a new.
Well, let's see. Well, you haven't. You fucking moved. But so we're gonna go back to live tweeting Raw on Mondays.
Yeah, but I. Okay.
I don't know what happened there. You started to interrupt me and then just completely stopped your sentence.
Oh, I was trying to open the Q&A and it's I'm having issues.
Yeah, I could have told you that. Your computer's about
right
to
now
explode thanks to its crappy Wi-Fi connection. So you might as well just leave the Q&A to me. Anyway.
Yeah. So and for anyone listening, you hear subtle noise. That's my girlfriend on my bed behind me laughing.
Sure it is. I don't know why I was an asshole all of a sudden. Anyway, so we're gonna go back to live tweeting Raw live on Monday nights at 8 o'clock. We're gonna have recordings on Wednesday and posting on Wednesday. Maybe not this week, but probably definitely next week. It depends on how long this takes because we did start late, and I'm currently working at night. Anyway, long story. And I'm gonna be in a much better mood all of the time. So with that,
yeah, that'd be nice. You were a grumpy Gus, and I did not like grumpy Gus Adam.
You have no idea. Rundown rewind.
Oh God!
NXT last week. Your opening contest this evening is the All or Nothing, some may call it Feast or Fired match between Bo Dallas and Big E. My question: when Bo Dallas makes his entrance, why is he so fucking wet?
You know, I've seen Bo Dallas, and the question has arisen as well. Why is that man dripping? I mean, did he like jump into a pool of baby oil and then come out and be like
bone when he comes out?
He's very glistening.
Yeah, and his shirt is like just drenched. Anyway. Yeah. Big E unsurprisingly wins the match after Bo removes a turnbuckle, then gets shoved into it. And then big ending and pinfall. In the actual match, In the actual match, Bo removes the turnbuckle pad. Big E shoves him into it. Big ending, pinfall. We then get a replay of an avalanche into the exposed turnbuckle that didn't actually happen during the televised match.
Ooh. Great editing job.
Yeah.
And that, be nice when NXT, what is it, Invasion? Takeover?
Takeover.
Is that it?
We don't talk about Invasion.
Takeover.
We don't talk about Invasion anymore.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but when Takeover happens, and that one's live
Next week.
tomorrow,
No,
right?
tomorrow. That's right.
Next
tomorrow.
week.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the 29th. Yes.
Yes.
So, I got to get over to Andy's and watch that. Oh, we made a promise. We made a promise.
You technically you made a promise to watch it last week, but whatever.
Well, because my dating system is completely screwed up, I can never get dates straight. And thank you, honey. And
See, I can't hear what she's saying, so you're reacting to nothing. I'm gonna just make the joke that apparently you can only get dates gay, but that's just me. We come back from break for clips of Bo leaving and the crowd chanting, "Bo, leave! Bo, leave!" At him, he decides to be the bigger man and leave. And by leave, I mean go to the main roster.
Yep.
Backstage, Devin What's-Her-Face is with Sami Zayn. Tyler Breeze interrupts, and now they have a match at TakeOver. And it's a number one contendership match.
Ooh. Tyler Breeze, right? That's the guy that Andy likes because he looks at his phone. He does the whole selfie face, the pursed lips, and
Paige then defeats Tamina in a match that can only be described as decent. Up next, Adam Rose versus Camacho. My question is Adam Rose part Samoan? Because during the match, Camacho starts bashing his head off the turnbuckles, and Adam Rose starts no-selling it and hulking up and being all not head-hurty.
I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's because he's South African. I think he was South African when he was at that other gimmick. I think maybe it's a little offshoot from that.
Barbados or the Bahamas. I think but I think you're thinking of Leo Kruger, who's a completely different person. I think Adam Rose is from the Bahamas. I think he's Bahamian. Yes.
Well, I mean, he is a Bohemian, so.
Yeah. Camacho decides to puss out and take the count out, setting up their match at TakeOver. Women's title tournament time, and to the surprise of certainly me and probably other people as well, Natalya beats Sasha Banks, avoiding the clash of the BFFs at TakeOver. Charlotte becomes your next NXT Women's Champion next Thursday, a.k.a. tomorrow. We'll talk about that later. Is it me? Or does Adrian Neville's promo picture make it look like he has elf ears?
Oh, he's brought up his ears before.
Very pointy.
You know, after he won the world title, he was talking about his accent and his big ears and everything else.
Yeah, but on his promo pic, they like stick out and they look veritably pointy. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I'm not seeing the promo picture.
Up next, he squashes Kurt Hawkins. And I have to say, Kurt Hawkins with his new haircut and the sunglasses he was wearing fucking looks like Macklemore. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to leave that out there.
Macklemore.
He looks like fucking Macklemore.
If I
find a still shot from this past week's NXT, from last week's NXT, of Kurt Hawkins wearing the filled-in sunglasses with the teeth on them, with his new haircut. It's not quite as pompadour-y as Macklemore, but it fucking looks like Macklemore. Anyway,
okay.
After the match, Tyson Kidd appears and they talk smack at each other in the lead up to the NXT title match next week on TakeOver. Is it me? Or is the NXT championship kind of gaudy and ugly?
Oh, God, yes. That thing is
All right.
I'm going to have nightmares of that title now.
All right. That's the thing. On to SmackDown, which opens with Tony Chimmel introducing Jimmy Hart, who introduces Hulk Hogan. Cole and JBL give him a standing ovation as he comes down the aisle. Can't help but notice that all these crowd yells when he's going around in circles all sound the same.
No, they aren't piping in crowd responses, are they? I mean, it's SmackDown.
Hulk mumbles something about the good old days, then awkwardly promotes Legends House, which he's not on. He then fucks up Hacksaw Jim Duggan's one-word catchphrase.
What'd he say?
Yo! Tonight is about looking forward to the future, which is why he's here. Something WrestleMania 31. Tonight, the Usos take on Rowan and Harper, plus Dolph versus Batista 2. No disqualification. Next.
Woot!
Enter Dolph when we return. This match is no disqualification because Dolph won by disqualification last week.
Okay.
Yeah. So, certainly can't have that happening again. They fight outside the ring, and the referee does nothing because it's no disqualification.
Countouts still should count.
For a no DQ match and a match featuring Dolph Ziggler, this match is really boring.
Really?
Dolph does a stupid thing and hurts his leg, gets speared, and loses. Also, Batista's spear is really fucking terrible. Batista Bomb post-match. Later tonight, the Usos versus Rowan and Harper. When do they get a tag title shot? Believe. Tonight. We come back for the Bella Twats, except minus Brie and plus Eva Marie. Chimmel fucks up Eva Marie's name, and JBL and Cole mock him for it, probably think that it'll all be edited out. It wasn't. Their opponents, the Dunkefactals. Turns out your special referee for this match is Summer Rae. Cole calls this intrigue. Cole doesn't know what intrigue means. This match is brought to you by the fact that on Total Divas, no one likes Summer. Summer ignores Team Orange's pins and fast counts Eva's shoulders down for 3. Dunkefactals win. Cole then accuses Summer of bringing Total Divas into the ring. Yeah, it's Summer that's doing that. Tonight on SmackDown, a replay of Raw.
Okay. I missed Raw last week, so.
Bo leave. Next. Bo enters when we return and then introduces himself to us. He delivers an inspiring speech. Bo's first ever opponent is Sin Cara. First ever. Never happened before. Shh. Never.
Ever.
The I'm going to call it the Bo Dog, which I think is what he calls it, put down Sin Cara for 3. Good match. He then shakes Sin's hand and tells him that maybe, one day, if he keeps trying, Sin Cara can be like Bo Dallas.
Oh.
Up next.
Man, he such a big heart.
Talks. Yeah.
Again?
Sheep cut, and Bray is in the ring with Rowan and Harper. He assures us that evil is very real, and outside our safe little bubble is a horrible, terrible place.
Yeah, it's called the Workforce.
He shows us a video from Raw of Cena attacking from behind because he's a superhero, and of Cena's match against Harper. Bray eventually starts speaking in tongues, and then he sings. Up next, Sheamus versus Del Rio. Again! I know! Back from break, and Cesaro and Heyman are on commentary. Del Rio doesn't even make it to the ring before they hit Sheamus' theme song. Cesaro refuses to speak English to Michael Cole, and I find that rather enjoyable. Cesaro may have a spot on the German announce team when he retires from in-ring competition. Cesaro gets Alberto disqualified by pulling Sheamus out of the ring, running him into the ring steps, and then neutralizing him on the outside. Cesaro then shakes Sheamus' limp and lifeless hand. Time for another Raw replay as we go back to Steph ordering Daniel to make the right choice. Will Daniel surrender the title on Raw? I doubt it. When we come back, Chimmel introduces us to Vicky. She awkwardly segues into introducing Adam Rose. He asks her the all-important question, and the crowd votes lemon. She freaks out and tells Adam he has 30 seconds to leave her ring. She then leaves her ring. Adam offers her the lolly, and she refuses. She predictably falls into the Raver mosh pit and gets crowd surfed around the ring and up the aisle. The only good thing from that segment, I got a new clip for the stinger at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, nice.
Backstage, Renee is with the Usos. Cena appears, says some weird shit, then goes back into boring regular old John Cena mode. Your main event is next.
Ooh.
Enter the Usos when we return. Cena gets his own entrance, even though he's not in the match at all. After their introductions, we go back to Raw for the Wyatts attacking Cena at the end of the show. London, we're here. Luke Harper has a blue hanky in his back left pocket this week, which means he's a cop. Are you a cop? Bray eventually shoves, let's say Jay off the top rope, getting his family disqualified. So Cena AA's Rowan. Cena wants Bray in the ring. Bray goes as far as the apron before declining the invitation. Bray's wearing a silver shirt that looks like it has broccolis on it. That's all I'm going to say. Bray poses in the aisle. John shakes his head in the ring, and we go off the air. Which brings us to Raw.
All right.
We open Raw with the Memorial Day package. Hooray, troops! In the arena, Justin introduces the Authority. Stephanie calls this a historic edition of Monday Night Raw. Some may even say it's the greatest night in the history of our business. Tonight is all about choices. Daniel Bryan has a choice to do the right thing or keep his WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Hunter brings everything around to be about himself, as always, and Evolution's match against The Shield on Sunday. Steph says they now have to deal with an issue, and they bring out Braddock's. Yay, Braddock's!
Oh, wait, he's still
set.
So Brad is still relevant?
Give it a minute.
Okay.
Hunter's upset because while Evolution being guest timekeeper and guest ring announcer for last week's match was perfectly fine, allowing the Shield to be on commentary is total horseshit. They begin to threaten him with something when Kane enters. Brad gets chokeslammed and tombstoned and then gets fired. On the app, Vicky interrupts Tom. She wants Brad's job. Believe when we return. Cesaro is finishing his entrance when we get back to the arena. Enter RVD. Also enter Bad News Barrett. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Today is officially the first day of summer, but summer means swimsuits and fat stomachs. Also, RVD will lose on Sunday. That was weird. It's weird. Barrett heads for commentary, and the match begins. RVD kicks Wade in the face at one point. When Wade recovers, he distracts RVD, and Cesaro pins him with a bridging German suplex. Sheamus then appears, and Brogue kicks Cesaro because he's a face. Backstage, Tom is with Nikki and Eva Marie. Nobody cares. That was on the app, rather. On the app, Tom is with Eva and Nikki Marie, and again, nobody fucking cares. When we come back, they're in the ring. Enter Summer Rae. This week's match is brought to you by more Total Divas bullshit and absolutely nothing to do with the title or in-ring competition. WWE Divas. We know you don't give a shit, so neither do we. Enter Fandela after a bit to taunt Summer from afar. This allows Eva to roll Summer up and pin her. Back in Triple H's office, the Antique Roads show are upset that they aren't on the show for the second week in a row. They want to issue an open challenge. Randy bickers with them. Hunter's not there. Blah, 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 blah. Hunter appears with his tie undone. Where was he? And makes the match between them. He says there'll be a stipulation, but he won't say what the stipulation is. On the app, Tom gets interrupted by 3MB. They continually call him Pettingill, which is funny. Drew goes on a ramble. Tonight, he loses to the Midget Bull, Chosen One, etc. Remember that? Those were good times. 3 7/16 man band in the ring when we come back. Enter Los Matadores. 8 years ago today, Hornswoggle made his WWE debut. And there goes Josh again. Oh, well, we'll figure it out. Shit. Surprise! El Torito wins. Thankfully, Bray Wyatt is after the break. On the app, something about Hugh Jackman and John Cena on ESPN. No idea what the fuck that was. We come back for a replay of Hornswoggle ripping El Torito's tail off. Backstage, let's say Fernando tries to reattach the tail by shoving it up El Torito's ass. Yeah. Tennessee. We're here. Thank you. During Bray's entrance, we go back to the end of last week's Raw. Bray sings for a bit, then brings it nice and creepy-like. Bray eventually asks Jerry Lawler into the ring, and Jerry refuses, so Bray sends Rowan and Harper out to get him. JBL tries to go instead. They both take him out, and Lawler is finally coerced into the ring. Bray makes Jerry sit in the middle of the ring in a steel chair and calls him out on feeding people the John Cena Kool-Aid for the past 10 years. Just when it looks like Bray's about to attack Lawler, Cena runs out for the save. Cena gets taken out by Rowan and Harper. We almost get a Sister Abigail on Jerry, but sadly the Usos run out and actually make the save. John goes into angry mode and cuts a boring promo. Tonight, will Daniel Bryan hand over the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? Will we finally have a clean, drama-free contract signing? The answer to these questions will be the same. Just you watch. On the app, Tom is with Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder has a match on Raw tonight. It's against Rusev, so business as usual. Zack Ryder actually gets an entrance when we come back. He comes out with a flag and begins to cut a promo about Memorial Day when he's interrupted by Lana to get some cheap heat. Why do they think he needs cheap heat? Rusev wins, refuses to release the accolade. Big E comes to make the save. Big E tosses Rusev and waves the American flag. Thanks for coming, Zach. On the app, Byron is interrupted by Titus, whatever. Tag team time when we return. Evolution versus Rhodes. Cody takes 2 RKOs after Goldust gets knocked off the apron. Justin then tells us this match was an elimination match, and also it's now no holds barred. Surprise! Evolution win. Goldust gets destroyed. Also, believe. On the app, SmackDown Fallout. When we come back, JBL returns to sell Luke's clothesline. Sin Cara enters, and he's getting a rematch from SmackDown. Bo gives us an inspirational speech, then beats Sin Cara again, then gives us an inspirational speech. On the app, I'm not sure what happened. My iPad fell asleep, and I wasn't paying attention. Tomorrow night on Main Event, the Usos versus the Wyatts. But now, let's go back to the top of the show. Enter Stephanie, time to find out what Daniel's gonna do. She calls out Daniel to do the right thing. He enters, in a neck brace, of course, to the cheers of the crowd. Steph begs Daniel to give up the title, saying he's just not in the proper physical shape to give it to the fans. If anybody knows anything about giving it to the fans, it's Stephanie McMahon. Bryan says, sadly, his neck injury is worse than he thought. He sees no shame in handing over the title, healing up, and coming back to win the title again. Like, that would fucking happen. Steph promises him another title shot once he returns, and he mocks her. He then pretty much tells her to go fuck herself. I'm so conflicted. He screams, no, in her face. No title for you. She's upset, so she provides a replay of Brie shoving her from 2 weeks ago when Daniel was being loaded into an ambulance. You can't put your hands on the boss. She threatens him and gives him one more chance. This Sunday, at Payback, he surrenders the title, or Brie gets fired. Wait,
Please
which one
do
of
us a
those
favor.
which one of those is the bad option? He keeps the title, or Brie gets fired.
Yeah.
No, sorry. He keeps the title and Brie gets fired, or he gives back the title and Brie keeps the job. Keep the title.
No.
Brie gets fired. The Divas division improves.
Yeah.
I don't see the hard choice here. I really don't. Anyway, on the app, Tom and Byron are hanging out. We come back to watch Paige lose last week. Enter Alicia Fox for more crap we don't care about. Her opponent tonight is Emma. Thankfully, Emma wins. Alicia then goes insane and throws Emma face first to the barricade by her hair. Emma gets a whooping, then Alicia throws her out of the ring. I'm pretty sure Alicia Fox's new gimmick is literally insane. Anyway, she then beats up a stagehand. Adam Rose is next. Yeah. I call it baffling. I think I'd call her new gimmick baffling.
Yeah, I did it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. On the app, Tom and Byron are still hanging out. Tom then shows us a commercial for underpants. Yep. We come back for the announcement that the Payback kickoff will be Hornswoggle versus El Torito in a hair versus mask match. Jesus Christ.
Are they still milking that poor cow? I mean,
Puns. Enter Davy
no,
Crockett.
beating that dead horse.
Yeah. Enter Davy Crockett. Seriously. I hate everything. Tonight's batch of rosebuds. Davy Crockett. Davy fucking Crockett. Tonight's batch of rosebuds includes Black Elvis and a penguin. Jack Swagger and Zeb appear with a kidnapped lemon guy. This distraction proves enough to allow Davy to still get pinned by Adam Rose. Swagger then attacks Rose. Davy goddamn Crockett. It was worse on main event, but we'll get to that. On the app, Tom is with Paige. Enter Sheamus with 19 minutes to go until 11 o'clock. Remember, we still have a contract signing tonight. This week on SmackDown, it's champion versus champion Sheamus versus Barrett. Which second-tier title do they care less about? Find out this Friday. Sheamus is taking on Alberto tonight. Again, I know. Surprise, Sheamus wins. Suddenly, Paul Heyman is your ring announcer, and he mocks Sheamus. Cesaro attacks Sheamus from behind while Shamey was staring at Paul. Neutralizer at 10:55, and Sheamus is out cold. Next, after the break, with 6 minutes left in the show, a contract signing. On the app, Tom gives us a sneak peek at Backstage Pass. 11:01, and it's contract signing time. Enter the Shield. Dean explains the concept and aftermath of the match. Roman illustrates the elimination aspect by slowly throwing the chairs from the ring and breaking all their wheels on the floor. They clear the ring and call out Evolution at 11:03. Hunter says this is the last time we'll see the Shield on Raw, and that's a shame. They're all talking like this match is some kind of retirement match. I'm very confused. Hunter says they're going to be nothing but a statistic. Roman tells him to shut the fuck up and get in the ring. It's 11:07. They get on the apron, then play like they're going to leave, but then they don't, and everyone gets in a big old fight. Shield clear house. Hunter gets a sledgehammer. Evolution kick ass. Roman ends up getting Batiste bombed through the announce table. End of Raw. All by myself. This is going to be a fun episode. Isn't it, Josh? On to main event. This week, main event comes to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, and we get right into it with the Antique Roadshow. Cody is in a one-on-one match against Curtis Asshole. We get video of Asshole being bullies to the Rhodes from .com. So, are the Roses breaking up or not? Ryback causes a distraction, and Curtis rolls Cody up with a handful of tights for the pinfall victory. We get a quick replay of the Wyatts and Lawler from last night, then the promise of Usos versus Rowan and Harper later on tonight. We come back for our Truth's entrance and a recap of Sherlock Holmes from last week. This week, as if Davy Crockett on Raw wasn't bad enough, it's D-Sizzle. He's B-squared 2014. He's got a roll of duct tape on a chain as his bling, and he's wearing a red Adidas tracksuit with a D on the left upper chest in electrical tape, and a white baseball cap on backwards. D-fucking-sizzle. Sadly, Truth wins this week. We then get a recap of Daniel not giving up the WWE title last night. We still don't see the downside of Daniel's choice. Enter the Bellas when we return. Brie taking on Natalya. Brie eventually taps to the sharpshooter. For what it's worth, Sasha Banks lasted longer on the sharpshooter on NXT last week than Brie did tonight. Brie cries because she probably just lost her last WWE match. Hopefully, fingers fucking crossed. Make the right choice, Daniel. God damn it. Backstage, Renee is with the Usos. Tonight they show Rowan and Harper how a real family operates. We then get a video build for Evolution versus Shield. The one thing that stands out is how much less hair Evolution has now. Cheap cut, and Luke gets to be nice and creepy tonight. He saved them. He gave them a purpose, and some bonds are stronger than blood. Enter Bray to explain his family. Enter the Usos when we return. Atlanta, we're here. During their entrance, we get a replay of the sadly not actual murdering of Jerry Lawler last night. Can I point out that for once John Cena actually didn't get the job done, and I approve of that.
Huh.
The fact that it's obviously the same sheep mask that it's always been, and it's now all destroyed and covered in tape, is such a nice touch I can't even describe it.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to see that.
For what it's worth, if they really want it to be an NXT takeover, they shouldn't do it on the WWE Network in NXT's usual time slot. They should do it on SmackDown or something. Take over SmackDown. Make SmackDown good for a week. Usos get some nice offense in, but that wicked clothesline from Luke finishes off, well, let's say, Jimmy. Rowan takes out Jay, then Luke throws Jimmy out to Bray's feet. Sister Abigail on the floor, and Luke counts Jimmy out. Sheep cut to black, and that's your main event. You have no idea what's going on, do you? You're frozen again, aren't you? Oh,
What I could hear sounded
easy to edit together,
like
though,
an
'cause it's
interesting
just
week.
me. There you are.
Am I frozen? Hey, I'm still
You're back now, it appears.
recording through all of this,
Although
just so you know.
Okay, that's good. I'm not sure how far of a delay you are behind when I talk and when you speak. It's like a horrible satellite interview on a news TV show. Tell us about your new project. I'd love to. It's a great movie. Anyway. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
Certainly won't be.
I have some ideas. Yeah, and at least I'm hanging in there.
You have some ideas? What do you have ideas about?
Oh no, to try to improve my connectivity.
Get a new router is my suggestion.
Well, this is my parents' router. I have my router as well, so.
Or a new house. Either way, it's time for the Rundown Showdown. Last week, if you'll recall, which you won't.
Oh yeah!
Last week was CM Punk versus Batista.
Remind me. God, who?
Let's go to the comments first. We don't have first comment. Some of these comments are interesting because the person who left the comment does not specify who they voted for, and the comment itself could really kind of go both ways. So let's see here. Relies on character and vocal skills to engage the crowd, can use wrestling moves to get a reaction from the audience, as opposed to relying on weapons and hyper-violence. I'm going to guess that person voted for CM Punk. This poll has an essay question? No wonder no one votes. Thanks, asshole. Why? It's Punk versus Batista. Why do you fucking think? This is a pity vote. Also, skinny jeans. Even if people are so against Punk for taking his ball and heading home, at least he cared more about the business than Batista. Because CM Punk shit in the ring and the ref had to clean it up. Gotta keep the shit theme going. Casey, stop it. And the last comment, evolution is a mystery, and I don't like mysteries. So, by a total of 64% to 36%, your winner, moving on to the second round of the Rundown Showdown, is... Of course it's CM Punk. Why the fuck wouldn't it be CM Punk? So CM Punk moves on to the second round. Next week's matchup, the number 5 seed Edge takes on the number 12 seed, the world's strongest man, unless you ask Cesaro last week on Main Event, Mark Henry. So
please repeat yourself.
Please repeat yourself. Edge versus Mark Henry's up next. I have already posted the link to the survey on Facebook. So, because for the last 2 weeks I've been like 3 days behind in actually remembering to post the goddamn survey. So, when you listen to this, you can go to Facebook and it is there waiting for you, or it's on our Twitter. It is there waiting for you to vote for Edge or Mark Henry and leave your reasoning as to why. It's not a fucking essay question. You just have to write a sentence. I pick Edge because his hair is better. Whatever. I don't care. Vote how you want. Just leave a comment. That's all I ask. So Edge versus Mark Henry next week. World's Strongest Man versus the Ultimate Opportunist. And Josh is somehow now in this video called twice. We'll figure it out. I'm not sure what's going on. I've got 2 Joshes, and that scares me. So, go to the Facebook.
Why is there 2? Why are there 2
I don't know. I was just wondering that myself.
of me on here?
Lag, 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 lag.
I only have one.
Lag, 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 lag. Anyway,
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me just fine?
you break up every so often, but we'll make it work.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make it work. I'm really sorry about this, dude.
You should be. It's Andy's fault anyway. He had to go get lost on the Exotic Express and not come back, so we'll blame him. So
You know what? I told him not to follow the white bunny.
it's
Don't follow the white bunny. It is.
So
It is.
now that you're back, we
Especially
move
that
on.
white bunny.
Yeah. They hop. We move on to our newest segment, Dear WWE. Because there is a certain thing this week that is just driving me insane. So, Dear WWE. Taken literally, a no-holds-barred match should be a match where the referee would not issue a 5 count to break up a chokehold, a rope break, or any other maneuver that would normally cause a disqualification. It should not be a match where anything and everything is legal. It should also not be a match where there are no countouts. A steel chair is not a hold, and its use should result in a disqualification. Fighting outside the ring, though holds may be in use, is not a hold in and of itself, and therefore the referee's count should apply. Your insistence on making no holds barred, no DQ, and street fight mean the same thing is, really, just watering down your product, and each term should, for both grammatical and storytelling purposes, be its own singular match type. I mean, if you want to be completely technical, a street fight shouldn't even take place in the arena. It should be more than just a no DQ match with jeans on. In fact, no DQ and Extreme Rules are also coming very close to meaning the same thing now, as we saw on SmackDown last week. But that's another letter for another time. No DQ, no holds barred, street fight. 3 different terms because they mean 3 different things. Stop it. Send your Dear WWE letter to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Which, do you have any comments on that?
I completely and utterly agree, but one point in WWE's favor, I don't think the wrestling fans in general understand what no holds bar, DQ, or street fight mean anymore. I mean, let's face it, they're kind of dumb.
Yeah, but I'd say that's more WWE's fault for not differentiating between them.
I've been to plenty of indie matches in indie shows where they went with a no holds barred match, and it was still just a no disqualification, no count out bullshit match. People really don't think about what they're booking things as anymore. It just sounds cool.
Yep. English is your friend. Moving on to the news this week. I figured we'd do something new this week, since we're ending the program with the Payback predictions. Since Payback is this Sunday, I figure we'll start the news segment with some Takeover predictions, since Takeover is tomorrow night.
Oh dear God.
You have no idea what's going on. There are 5 announced matches for NXT TakeOver tomorrow evening. That airs live on the WWE Network, starting at 7:30 with the pre-show. Sorry, the kickoff. Nobody cares. Either way. First is the hopefully final match between Adam Rose and Camacho. And Josh is gone again. So I'll just say that I think at this point there's really no doubt that Camacho is just kind of being used as a stepping stone to get Adam Rose ready for Jack Swagger at Payback, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I think it's quite obvious that Adam Rose will win and move on and become a fixture on the main roster. And Josh is back again, and we'll see what he has to say about Adam Rose versus Camacho.
Ambrose.
Not Ambrose. Adam Rose versus Camacho.
Okay. Oh, Adam Rose. Okay. Camacho. With the face and Cole Camacho.
Oh. Up next, the Ascension finally defend their NXT Tag Team titles against Kalisto and El Local. Call me crazy, but I don't think they'll be taking the tag championships off of the Ascension. They are the longest reigning champions in the company.
Right. I've not seen Kalisto and
Lag.
better tag team opponents.
I think I know what you just said. There is a distinct lack of tag teams in NXT right now, and that was the point that Ascension made last week when they issued an open challenge for TakeOver, is the fact that they've been just facing jobber team after jobber team after jobber team for the past few months. So they begged for real competition and got Kalisto and El Local. I don't think I don't think that tomorrow night is when they'll take the titles off the Ascension. I don't think Kalisto and El Local will win the titles in their first attempt against a team that's been as dominant as the Ascension have been. So, next match, the final for the currently vacant NXT Women's Championship is Charlotte versus Natalya. Natalya, and we'll get to this again in the NXT Championship match. Natalya really only there as window dressing and to kind of give a little bit of a rub to the winner of the tournament in the fact that, she beat an actual WWE diva. She must be very impressive. So I think it's fairly obvious that Charlotte will be walking out of TakeOver with the NXT Women's Championship. So, do you agree? I heard you say right, so I'm assuming you agree with that. And you're long. This is good. Oh, this is a weird episode. Next match is for the number one contendership to the NXT Championship, as the two runners-up in the triple threat match to determine who would face Adrian Neville at TakeOver for the title face each other to determine who'll face Adrian Neville later on down the line. Tyler Breeze versus Sami Zayn. This match, for me, is very hard to call, especially now that there are two Joshes in the video chat again. Both men certainly would make excellent number one contenders. I think Sami Zayn is more groomed for it at this point, being more of a veteran than Tyler Breeze is. But Tyler Breeze is certainly a good competitor in his own right. So I am leaning Sami Zayn on this one, but it's certainly up in the air to me. And I know that you will probably have no idea because you don't know who either of those people are.
No, I know who both of them are. I just work a match yet. I've seen Tyler Breeze. The only thing is he's like big face.
can't wait to listen back to this
Two.
when I'm assembling it to hear
Right.
what it is you're saying. Something about somebody being a babyface. Zayn is the babyface of the match. Breeze is the heel.
Okay, yeah, but
But I literally have no idea what else you said. Oh, there you are.
see, I was talking, and then I must have lagged again, because you froze. So I'm gonna say I want to go. My gut's saying Zayn, but the Booker in me wants to see a heel take on Neville. So I'm kind of split.
That's the other part that makes it kind of confusing as to who they might go with. So either way, it's going to be an excellent matchup because
Right.
both those guys can go. So, but
Yeah, they're very talented.
it's hard to call. It really is hard to call. So
I'm gonna
and the
disagree
last
with
announced
you,
match,
and
yeah.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna agree with you, and probably by default, if I drop again, I'll just agree with you, unless it's a Cena match.
One match left to take over. It's Tyson Kidd versus Adrian Neville for the NXT Championship. As I said last week in discussing the results of the triple threat match that led to this match, it makes sense to have Tyson Kidd face Adrian for the title. And there goes Josh again, because having Adrian Neville defeat an actual WWE superstar just kind of elevates the title and the reputation and the prestige of the NXT Championship, having him go over an actual WWE superstar. So Josh slowly makes his way back as we have more issues this week on the rundown. Episode 153. Quite possibly the last. We'll see what happens. Josh, Adrian Neville versus Tyson Kidd for the NXT Championship. Does Adrian retain?
Yes,
Exactly.
I'm going with
All right.
Adrian Neville. Yes.
Good. Next.
Wah-sha-sha. Sha-sha-sha.
The Wrestling Observer reports that WWE was hopeful Daniel Bryan could return to the ring in time for Money in the Bank on June 29th before his neck operation last Thursday. However, as of now, Bryan may not be active until the Battleground event, which is on July 20th. SummerSlam in August is being viewed as the worst-case scenario for the latest Bryan could return. For Money in the Bank, the WWE creative team is reportedly working on a new card for the show as a contingency plan. Many WWE superstars and legends think that Bryan needs to tone down his in-ring style, as there has been a lot of concern internally that his recent neck surgery could be the start of long-term serious problems for him. Many feel moves that many feel Bryan should take out of his arsenal include the murder-suicide headbutt, the missile dropkick, and the suicide dive. I had heard a rumor that if they do end up stripping Daniel of the WWE Championship, that the Money in the Bank ladder match would be for the title, which would be awesome because I'll be there to watch it. But you know, you can't. I understand why they would take the title off him, because you've already got Payback without a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match.
Right.
You can't have 2, maybe 3, worst case scenario, 4 pay-per-views in a row without a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match.
I honestly think that they need to strip him and wait for him to come back, and then you can do another comeback story. I mean,
Right.
how many times have we had a top tier guy, world heavyweight champion, get injured, they get stripped of their title, and then they fight their way back up to win that title back? I know they did it a dozen times back in the Attitude Era.
Right.
I mean, you can easily it'll actually keep momentum for Daniel going.
Right.
I would have to agree. Money in the Bank.
Yeah. So, like I said, if they do the Money in the Bank ladder match instead of a briefcase for the WWE Championship, They could honestly also, it could be a way for them to still have 2 ladder matches on the show, because you can have a ladder match for the title and a ladder match for the briefcase, because the briefcase has been such an important thing over the past few years that I don't think they'll want to give that up either.
No, they couldn't.
Certainly an interesting predicament they're in, but it's going to be interesting seeing how they work their way out of it.
But let's address the other elephant in the room really quick about many of the other talent in WWE believing that Bryan needs to tone down his moveset or his he's always been in the indies and in the WWE. He's always been an intense worker.
Sure.
He's always had these intense, brutal moves and just this amazingly visceral style.
Right.
And I totally get why they would think that he would need to do that. But are we killing what Daniel Bryan has going for him? What's made him a watchable commodity?
I don't think so. I think if he could certainly tone it down and still be a watchable commodity. He's got such skill technically that he can work anything.
True.
Really. Hi, Cat. I just
and I guess
oh God, Jesus Christ!
Holy crap! What was that?
Ow.
Was that a cat?
Yeah. There was a cat already up. There was a cat already up there, and then there was another cat who tried to go up there, and the cat that was already up there doesn't get along with the cat who was already up there, and so there was a brief
Well, you had a fight.
and then a sprawling, falling tumble of 2 cats, and now my desk is a mess. Anyway.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Kind of lost my train of thought. I know exactly what I was going to say. You have Daniel Bryan has brought technical back and made it interesting again.
Right.
Would you agree?
Yeah, sure.
And so you're right. Him toning down his moveset, I totally agree with getting rid of the murder-suicide for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he who should not be fucked up his neck. Which might explain a few things. Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Doing that move. So, but
thinking about it, I'm honestly surprised that WWE lets him do it in the first place.
Yeah.
As that maneuver was kind of linked to being one of the main reasons why Benoit had so many concussions, is the fact that he was leaping from the top rope and driving his head into someone else's shoulder and chest. So I am honestly surprised that they either he asked them, hey, can I do this move, and they said yes, or he did it and they didn't go, hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree. That is a worrisome sight whenever I see it. I mean, it's cool. He doesn't do it every match anymore, but wasn't it the last pay-per-view he did it off the top or off of a fully extended pallet or forklift?
Yeah, he jumped off the forklift. Yeah.
Yeah, and those things can get pretty high.
Yeah, from I would say from the pallet to the ring was at least 10 feet, if not 15.
Maybe 14 feet?
Yeah.
I would say 14.
So
sounds about right. I used to drive forklifts, so.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right.
Next.
Washa Shasha.
Big Show will be starring in a new WWE Studios film. Thankfully, it is not a sequel to Knucklehead. The company has signed a deal with Lionsgate to co-finance 6 upcoming films, and the first will be Vendetta, an action film starring Big Show. The film is about a detective who deliberately commits a crime to get sent to prison so he can break his brother out using a map that he tattooed on his own body. Nope. Different show. Deliberately commits a crime to get sent to prison so he can seek vengeance on the crook serving a life sentence for murdering his wife. I find Big Show as that detective already somewhat unbelievable. The film will be directed by Jen and Sylvia Soska, who directed See No Evil 2, Big Show, of course, starred in Knucklehead along with appearances in The Waterboy, Jingle All the Way, and MacGruber. A press release for announcing the movie was expected this week. I'm pretty sure it came out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find Big Show in this role, just by description alone, maybe seeing it will be different, but a 7-foot-tall private detective, one,
Right.
who deliberately commits a crime to get sent to prison to seek vengeance on the crook who murdered his wife.
Could you imagine Big Show as his private detective in a store-bought suit that's just so happens that he finds, and just him like grabbing a guy and putting him up against the car and being like, "Tell me where they are." I find that image horribly laughable for some reason.
Right, exactly. It seems like a farce.
Yeah.
I'm more picturing Big Show.
Just for the one.
I'm more picturing Big Show in a giant trench coat, sneaking, trying to 7 foot, whatever the fuck, sneak around like behind a dumpster in an alleyway or some shit, like this huge dude trying to be all stealth ninja looking after people. That makes me fucking laugh. Because I picture it like they.
Could you see him in a town car doing a stakeout?
No, because I picture it like they used to animate it in the old cartoons, the way they snuck in the old cartoons where the knee would come up behind. They go big, 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 big. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's funny to me. That image.
No, I think the image of him in a small town car doing a stakeout with spilling coffee all over.
He's got his knees up to his chest and he's got the binoculars. Anyway.
Exactly.
So that movie's gonna be terrible, basically, is what we're saying. Next.
Oh God, movie. What do you watch out?
TNA is continuing their run of New York Impact tapings over the summer. As previously reported, the company is running 3 shows next month in the Grand Ballroom of the Manhattan Center, and PW Insider has confirmed that they will be booking 3 more shows for August. The August tapings will take place on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. So if you're in the New York area and you're desperate for some wrestling, you can go watch TNA. The 5th, 6th, and 7th of August. In fact, you can probably catch tickets for next month's shows too, because who the fuck wants to go see TNA at this point?
No.
Next.
Just
After the news of WWE's financial problems and their plans to make the WWE Network profitable, Chief Strategy and Financial Officer George Barrios said that there may be advertisements on the network soon. Ads could start appearing as soon as the first quarter of 2015. There, of course, has also been talk of increasing the monthly subscription cost to increase revenue. I don't think that ads on the network would bother me as long as they were relevant to my interest and not random
like
shit.
Hulu?
Like Legends House. Flag. It would certainly help break up the programs a bit, because right now you go from like program and like the commercial breaks are like Adam Rose vignettes and random shit like that you're not sure if it's part of the commercial or part of the program. So it would certainly help break up the programs a little bit. I don't think I would be against advertising on the network,
Right.
Especially if it could help keep the subscription price where it is, because I know that a lot of people would be a little upset if the subscription price went up. So
Yeah, it would give me pause to consider getting the network. Yeah.
That's the other thing about raising the subscription cost is they're upset, as it were, because they don't have the number of subscribers they were hoping for.
Oh my God, don't expect your big number to be hit. Have a projected have a this is what we would like to see, and then have a projected number of what we'll probably see.
Right.
Plan for that.
The reports have said
It's like
that
they don't
need, I think it was 1.4 million subscribers to break even, I think is what the report said. They were hoping
Ooh.
to have 1 million by WrestleMania. They ended up with, I think it was 667,000, which is not a bad number. That's $6.6 million
that's not.
a month in subscription fees.
Yeah.
But if it's not breaking even, I can see it from both sides. If they're not breaking even on the network, they're already. I read another thing that said they're already looking at losing $50 million this year as a company between the network costs and the cost of losing the pay-per-views. The cost of lost pay-per-view revenues. They're looking to lose about $50 million. They're not going to go out of business by any stretch of the imagination, but they are set to lose about $50 million this year.
But they could be losing personnel.
Right. So if you're looking to offset that, then I completely understand upping the cost of the network. But if you're looking to offset the cost of the network by getting more people to sign up for the network, raising the price seems like a bad strategy to go about it. So selling advertising on the network to offset the cost of the network, I think personally, is a much more I don't want to say acceptable, but easier to swallow way of going about it.
I have to agree.
The network for $10 a month, getting access to all the shit that you have access to, plus NXT and Superstars and all the pre and post game shows, the live pay-per-views, all that stuff for $10 a month, you can handle some frickin' advertising in your live programming.
I agree. I'm not saying
in your replays as well, but still.
I'm not saying that the advertising is a bad route. I guess I didn't know how bad they were set back by their lower numbers on subscriptions. That's all.
Right. So I like I said, I see no issue in advertising on the network.
No, it's not a problem.
Like I said, as long as it's relevant, as long as it's not like fucking ads for like Rascal Scooters and fucking that Alex Trebek life insurance, whatever the fuck that is. Or
they have a lot of ties with other networks or movie companies like Lionsgate. They could always put a Lionsgate trailer on there. I
was watching The Price is Right the other day.
Oh God.
Because I'm a game show fanatic and I DVR The Price is Right.
Are you serious?
Of course.
Oh,
and
wow.
I fast forward through the commercials, but I still catch the ones at the tail end because you have to get the entire. Anyway, the last commercial in this commercial block before we went back to The Price is Right was to order catheters that you could do at home.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that commercial.
If I ever get to a point in my life where I have to stand in my bathroom and insert a tube up my dick hole, I'm just going to drive my car off a fucking bridge.
Did you already had enough problems in that? It's not...
Do it at home, catheters. Ugh.
Ugh.
Next.
What? Shush.
See, I thought you were just going to stop it. Ugh, would have been a perfect one. At the end of Raw, during the Shield versus Evolution contract signing, the cameraman very briefly zoomed into the contract right at the beginning of the segment as it was waiting on the table that was in the ring. A very nice gentleman on the internet by the name of Leon Peters paused to see what the contract actually said.
Oh, Lord.
I shit you not, because later a picture was later posted on Twitter. At the bottom of the page, word for word, at the bottom of the contract for the Shield versus Evolution at Payback, it says, and I quote, 100% seriously, 100% legitimate. Quote, World Wrestling Entertainment is a creative genius. The whole creation of the universe was fashioned by his ever-toiling hands. All living mortals should praise his name and image. Unquote.
I've heard stories about contract signings where people will write random shit
Oh, yeah.
on there when they're signing. But this just proves that when they print out the damn thing, they put something on there. Because I mean, how many times do you watch a contract signing and someone looks at it and they smirk and they almost break fame because of it?
We did one at APW a couple of months ago, where apparently they forgot to print out whatever it was needed, that was needed to be printed out. So Johnny Fabulous had to go in the ring for a contract signing with his show run sheet upside down on a clipboard to act as the contract. Anyway.
Nice.
Anyway. During the recap on Main Event, they used a screen effect to wash that portion of the page out so you couldn't see it. World Wrestling Entertainment is a creative genius. The whole creation of the universe was fashioned by his ever-toiling hands. All living mortals should praise his name and image.
I'm sorry, that is just golden right there. You gotta do me a favor, send me that picture on Facebook so I can see it, because
Right.
I gotta see that.
Oh, I'll have to go back through 411 and try and find it.
Okay.
Next.
Shaw created the universe. Shaw.
Created the universe. Creative genius.
Creative genius. Sorry.
And finally this week,
All right.
payback prediction time.
All right. Let's hope I hang on for this one.
Yeah. Start at the bottom, move to the top. First, as made on SmackDown this week, unsurprising spoiler alert, Big E versus Rusev.
Oh, finally? They're just now getting to that?
Well,
On SmackDown this week?
that's when they make the match. Because they attacked him on Raw.
Okay, how have they made Big E look since the initial run-in with Rusev? I said I've missed other stuff, so.
Well, it only just happened on Raw where he ran in to save Zack Ryder and he threw Rusev out of the ring and waved the American flag.
No, there was a couple weeks ago, Big E had a confrontation with Rusev in ring, I want to say.
I don't remember that.
They should have built this one up better. I think Rusev's going to win
The
because
big
they've
story
been.
is obviously Rusev hates black people, but anyway, I do think
Yeah.
I agree with you.
He's
I think Rusev is going to win.
I think if they had a proper build, then I'd have a better argument for Big E. But if they haven't had anything, then yeah.
Rusev is going to win to make him look strong by putting him over the former Intercontinental Champion,
Right.
who's done nothing with since winning the
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah, which I'm so sad. But let's face it, it is the battle of the big guys. Finally got it in.
And Roosback continues his streak.
Yeah.
Next, for the Divas Championship, Paige defends against Alicia Fox.
Paige.
Yes. The kickoff.
Oh, God.
El Torito versus Hornswoggle in a mask versus hair match.
Can I vote for them both having heart attacks and dying as the bell rings, so therefore we are not subjected to that atrocity?
No.
Fuck.
El Torito.
Torito. Yeah.
Sheamus versus Cesaro for the United States Championship.
They've been making Cesaro look strong from this one.
As much as I would like Cesaro to win the United States Championship again, I have a feeling that they'll continue Sheamus the Superman. So
And that's fine with me too. I like I like Sheamus. Either one winning is fine with me, but I'm going to go with Cesaro.
Meh. Meh. Eh. I'm not happy about picking Sheamus. Let's just say that. Wade
Okay.
Barrett versus Rob Van Dam for the Intercontinental Championship.
I'm going to go with Good News Barrett.
I'm afraid
I
I've got
can't do a
some
Good News
good
Barrett. You have to do it.
news. Yes.
Yeah.
John
'Cause
Cena versus Bray Wyatt, last man standing.
I don't know. I haven't been following the storyline. Persevere in this one.
I want it to be Bray. I really do. But history tells me,
That Cena's gonna win.
and I was just gonna say I have a note on here as well. Odds of a bullshit ending involving, I don't know, duct tape or handcuffs or some kind of horse shit that literally prevents one man from getting to his feet.
Right. It'll
Because they have a
happen.
history of doing that to ruin things in John Cena matches.
I would not be surprised at that. Who got duct taped?
Batista and someone
Batista.
else.
Okay.
And Ryback,
I know-
I think Ryback got duct taped once.
Now I know they did
Oh, he
the.
can't make it to his feet. We got to count to 10, ignoring the fact that he would have been able to get to his feet if he hadn't been fucking duct taped.
Gotta love
John Cena's a fucking superhero, douchebaggiest superhero in the history of the planet.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably gonna put Cena over because he needs to get over on the darkness that is pervasing the WWE. And yeah, I don't give
Yeah.
yeah.
Wyatt won the won the cage match last month, so. But
Which sounded like a halfway decent match,
Yeah.
from what I was described to me.
Cena won at Mania. Wyatt won at Extreme Rules. So
This is the rubber.
Cena's got to win the rubber match. That's what I fear. With some kind of horse shit. Because there's always horse shit.
That or
Because
one of the
John
Wyatts
Cena is
turns
the
on.
douchebaggiest. That's not going to happen. Because John Cena is the douchebaggiest superhero in the history of the planet.
Okay.
And the final match, Shield versus Evolution in a 6-man no holds barred elimination match.
Okay. So is there any stipulation that if Shield wins or loses? I missed that part of
Not
the
that I know of.
discussion.
Like I said, it sounded on Raw like they were making it sound like a career match, but they haven't announced anything of that sort. So,
All right.
I'm pretty sure it's.
once-
I think the idea was that they're just going to beat the shit out of each other so handily that it's going to be the end of everyone. So,
Right. I'm going to say Shield, unless of course some form of shenanigans, either someone does a screw over or someone sides with Evolution.
I'm going to say Shield. Roman Reigns is the only man left.
Probably they do that. They seem to want to do that a lot. It would be cool if Seth Rollins did it. Got the job done.
Batista gets eliminated first.
Oh hey, who won the Seth Rollins Batista match?
I don't fucking remember.
Okay. Hey, Seth Rollins is my
I
guy.
want to say some kind of disqualification. That sounds
Sounds about right.
Sounds right to me.
When we have both teams out there having bullshit titles. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
So
that's it.
So there's your payback. There's your payback predictions. And I believe that does it for the rundown for this Wednesday, May 28th, 2014. 86 days, if my math is correct, since the Usos won the WWE Tag Team Championship. Lucky Pro Wrestling Star Clash on Friday, June 20th in Hudson, Mass. I will no longer be able to attend that event because of the new job, as I described earlier. But you can still go and see the Hurricane and Nova against Brandon Webb and I don't remember somebody else, but that'll be a good match. And then Summer Sizzle in Clinton, Mass. on Saturday, August 9th. I should be at that show. APW returns Saturday, July 12th to the APW Arena at the Newbury Fire Hall in Newbury, Massachusetts. And Liberty States is off for the summer, as we always are. We return in October. For more information, go to luckyprowrestling.weebly, W-E-E-B-L-Y, weebly.com, atlanticprowrestling.com, or libertystateswrestling.com. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast to watch me live tweet Raw live again, Ray. And just to hang out and chit-chat. Send your feedback, send your Ryback theme song, send your catchphrase suggestions, send your fake sponsors, send your real sponsors, send your Doctor Who Creator Wrestler templates for Pertwee through McGann, send your questions for me to answer on YouTube, and your open letters for the Dear WWE segment to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. If you want to make a donation of the monetary variety, go to rundown.podomatic.com and click on the PayPal donate button on the right-hand side of the page. The show is free for you. It is not free for me. This costs me $10 a month, and I do it because I love you, but I could really appreciate the help. Watch our archived episodes that we've been doing since we started doing the video versions on youtube.com/rundownpodcast.
Yeah.
And circle me on Google Plus, which is really the worst thing you could possibly say, at google.com/plus. That is a plus sign, not the word plus Adam Rundown Host. If you want to get a copy, we couldn't sneak it in this week because he wasn't here because he was busy getting stoned off his ass on the Exotic Express. But if you want a copy in PDF format of this here little chat book, go to tinyurl.com/distant horizons. Too fitting for a pitif of Chasing Distant Horizons. Search for us on iTunes under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week for $0.00. Like I said, free for you, not free for me. If you cannot afford a donation of the monetary variety, go onto iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. Because that helps other people find us. Something about a paradigm or an algorithm or something, I'm not sure. And leave a text review as well. If you leave a nice text review, or if you leave really any text review, we will read your name and your text review at the end of a future episode of The Rundown. Like these fine people, if my iTunes will load so I can check to see if anyone has actually left a comment, because it's been a while and I haven't seen any new ones, but there might be a new one, and I just have to keep rambling until my iTunes decides to show up so that I can then click on it and go into the iTunes store and then look and see and go.
You know,
I
can talk too sometimes. It's nice to talk. I like letting people know that I'm still here, that I am cognizant of what's going on.
Well, that's the thing tonight. I'm not sure if you're there or not.
Well, I don't know. Are you staring at what screen are you staring at? Are you actually staring at the video feed where I'm actually somewhat moving a little bit, making facial expressions, going?
It tweaks that after every once in a while.
I know.
So, and the iTunes is loading. You realize that I'm going to do this and it's going to take forever. I'm going to get to it, and there's not going to be any new comments. So.
Oh, more than likely. Don't ask me to open my iTunes, or else I'm going to lose my connection.
Your computer will.
Too many things running.
Your computer will set itself on fire.
It will. It'll say, "Fuck you. We are done." This is what happens when you watch porn on me.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. There you go. Run. Nobody's going to get that reference, and it's going to be amazing. I have a tendency of doing that on this program. If I make references that nobody else will get. The Rundown Wrestling Podcast.
You got anything working for a good title yet? Besides me fading in and out of existence?
Something will happen, I'm sure.
Oh. Have you been getting my random text messages whenever I
I have gotten
fade
a few
out?
that
And I'm like, fuck me.
I have gotten a few that just say, "Oh, for fuck's sake." So there's that.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Ah,
If I click on this,
Hopefully I can get this a little bit more stabilized for next week.
if I click on that, and then I click on this, we have 14
Mhm.
5-star ratings now, which is good because we only had I
Oh,
think
that's great.
we had 11 the last time, but we still only have 10. We only have
Comments?
10 comments, and that makes me sad.
Ah, damn it. Wasn't the last one that you had was Josh's Got to Go, or was that a...
Oh no! No! We do have a new one. We do have a new one from some jerkwad named Azure Talon. Who could that possibly be?
I have no idea.
No, I don't know who that is. I wasn't originally going to leave a review because Adam being sad he doesn't have any is hilarious, but then I discovered how much funnier Adam is when he is angry about the low voting in the Rundown Showdown. Listen, don't vote. It'll be worth your time. Thank you, Bill.
Bill for the win.
Thank you, Bill. Bill was almost the host tonight, except he couldn't. Bill was, after I texted Sean and you and Vinny and then Bill, and you were the only one who said you could, and look how well that worked out, huh? All right.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that, man.
Thank you,
Listen,
Bill. We're also available on Stitcher, under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast at Stitcher.com or the Stitcher app on your iOS or Android device. Just search for it in your app store. Also free, but you stream it instead of downloading it so you can save hard drive space or some shit, but use up more bandwidth than your data plan. Anyway, thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to nobody who posted comments on the side during the show.
Oh, that didn't happen at all?
We had one during the pre-show. Well, there was one, but it was fucking spam. Probably some Mexican who's going to call us faggots again.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that one.
To Josh.
Puta madre. That's what I say to those guys.
Yikes. And thanks to I Fight Dragons for the theme song. Next week, a full recap of Payback Plus.
More internet troubles for Josh.
Dolph Ziggler's hairstylist finally comes out of hiding and explains that 1 week on SmackDown a few years ago when he had just regular brown hair and it looked so fucking weird and nobody got over it.
What?
And as always, remember, Jacob, good night and good luck. And go vote in the showdown.
My girlfriend's snoring.
Good night, everybody. Especially Josh's fake girlfriend.
No, she's not fake. She's cute. Okay. Okay, now I gotta do the saving, and that's
That
gonna
got
take
a
a
little
bit.
creepy at the end there.
It did. It did.
She's not fake.
All right.
She's cute.
What's this week's episode?
153.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Well,
Lord.
viewers, all 0 of you who tuned in this week.
Oh,
I think Andy was in and out, but nobody left a comment.
like I was?
Yeah, except on purpose.
Man.
What a week it's been.
Yeah. All right.
I think it's about time. I think it's now that it's dark outside.
Yep.
It's about time we end this shindig. Don't you
Yep.
think?
I'd say it's a good time to say good night, everybody.
That was a weird face you just made. I don't know what the hell that was, but it was really
This
kinda crazy.
this face. Okay. This face is weird all the time.
That's true. I've seen Facebook pictures.
Yeah.
I like that now that the show's over, you're not having any issues at all.
I know. And that horrible freaking it always happens like that. Always
I
happens
went
like
to the
that.
zoo, and I saw the tigers, and there were zebras, and there were giraffes, and a baby rhino.